The number one factor for NBA postseason success, NBA playoff success, is health. When teams stay healthy, they win games, they win series. When teams suffer the injury bug, they lose games, they lose series. Look no further than last year. When the Celtics were great and Tatum got hurt, the Celtics got bounced. The Pacers were great, Halliburton got hurt, Pacers get bounced. Tonight, Wednesday night, we have the 76ers and the Magic. One team healthy, one team not so much. Is that the only factor to consider when it comes to Sixers and Magic? Let's break it down. Teddy covers wagertalk.com with a big game breakdown. Let's start by looking at the Odds Logic live odds screen. And let's call Philly minus 1.5. There are some twos out there for the 76ers, but if you want Philly, you can get them at minus 1.5. You can get them on the money line. And in this point spread range, I would encourage you, if you like Philadelphia, I don't want to lay 1.5 or lay 2 in a spot where let's get the straight up win and get out of Dodge. If you like this Philadelphia 76ers side in this ballgame, I recommend money line in this particular price range as opposed to the side. The problem is, of course, that looking at the Odds Logic live odds screen, that the market's priced that into the equation right here. You can still find less than 120, even up to 120. The 125s out there on the money line for Philly. You can find better. That's the beauty of the Odds Logic live odds screen is you see a whole bunch of books. And if you have an account there, you can bet there. And obviously, here in Las Vegas, where I've been for 28 years, lots of books available. Out in the world, I understand there aren't as many books available. That's, again, the beauty of the Odds Logic live odds screen. You put the books from your state together, and boom, you can see 1.5, 1.5, 2. This is where we're going to bet it. Get a free trial right now, oddslogic.com/Teddy. It takes a minute. It is not a long process. Try it. Again, oddslogic.com/Teddy. Philly, anyhow, minus 120, minus 125 on the money line. From a side standpoint, again, minus 1.5, minus 2. Total sitting in the 224/224.5 range. And I started this by saying health matters more than anything, any other factor. And Joel Embiid for Philadelphia with the emergency appendectomy. Just one more thing that's happened to Embiid in the course of his career, right around playoff time, that's hurt Philadelphia's chances. This is just the latest of a long series of incidents, health-related incidents for Embiid, and it certainly has affected this point spread. Can Philly win a game without him? You know, the winner's in. The loser gets another chance at Charlotte on Friday. And that's important when it comes to the mentality here. The 7-8 game versus the 9-10 game. Is that loser here gets another try. And that, we can play again. That in the back of your head, I think it's worth something. That being said, I would not be surprised at all if I have a bet on Charlotte on Friday night. I don't think either one. I think both of these teams are flawed, plain and simple. And when I'm trying to figure out which of the flawed teams I want to back tonight, I keep coming up against a wall that's smashing my face that says, don't bet the side in this game. Don't bet the side in this game. Here's why. All right. It's been widely rumored / speculated that there are major internal chemistry issues in Orlando. And there's been news reports coming out for the last 3 days about Jamal Mosley's going to get fired. Win or lose, Jamal Mosley's going to get fired. And that Paolo, the rumor is Banchero, but it could be Wagner. That multiple players for the Magic say that we're leaving if he stays. Mosley was a genius 2 years ago. You know, Orlando went from 22-60 his first year to 34-48, then to 47-35, a 25-win improvement. You know, from year 1 to year 3. He was one of the Coach of the Year candidates that year. The last 2 years obviously haven't been as good for Orlando. And this year, where the Magic made a bunch of win-now moves and then didn't win now, it's on the coach. You know, Nick Nurse is safer in Philadelphia because Philadelphia's riddled with injuries. But it's worth noting from a betting market standpoint right now, Orlando has been thoroughly devalued in the betting markets. All right, they just lost on national TV to the Celtics on Sunday. They sat everyone. Celtics were sitting everyone. And Orlando came, were supposed to play. They were 13-point favorites, and they lost the game. And the way they lost it, it felt like they weren't hungry. It felt like they weren't as competitive as you wanted them to be. When we think about Orlando on paper, look, They've got Banchero, Suggs, Wagner, Bain. That's a pretty good big four for any team. The depth is there. The defense is there. And they had won 5 straight before the Celtics lost, so they wouldn't like they stumbled completely down the stretch. They had a bad game in the finale. That being said, they've been money losers in just about every role this year. They've been a point spread disaster area, and we're getting all these reports that the team wants to quit on the coach. The one role they were okay in was road underdogs, that being said. And Philadelphia was money losers as home chalk. They did not win games and cover point spreads in the home favorites role, and they're not healthy. So when we think about what the side is tonight, all these reports about the problems in Orlando, and where there's smoke, there's fire at this time of year with this type of stuff. There really is. But health matters more than anything, which leaves us to Orlando or pass, because Philadelphia without Embiid, they're okay. They're not good. I think Orlando, and this point spread is telling us that Orlando as good or better than Philadelphia without Embiid. So it's a difficult side for me. And I'm not going to give you a side recommendation on the game because of that. I will say I'm looking to fade the winner of this game when it comes to Friday night. And we'll see how it plays out. I may not end up doing that. The point spread may be wrong, et cetera, et cetera. But conceptually, I don't want Orlando moving forward. I don't want Philadelphia without one of their best players. And it's not like Edgecombe and Maxey and George aren't a pretty good big three for Philadelphia. It's not like they can't win a game without Embiid. They can, And if I had to play it, it'd be Philadelphia. But I think the total here is better than the side. And I'll talk about why in just a minute. First, I do want to let you know about what's going on right now. WagerTalk.com. NBA playoffs have been pretty darn good for the clients and I in recent seasons. I did lose last night. I had Charlotte minus the points, and Charlotte looked like they might get there in the final minute and didn't. And it looked like they might get there in overtime and didn't. Happens. I'm not going to freak out. They won the game. Fuck them. It's almost like when Michigan won the national title. Yeah, but who cares? They didn't cover. Charlotte won. I think we'll get a chance to get some of that money back on Friday night, potentially, when Charlotte plays against these teams. That being said, I'm up just shy of 90 units of profit in the NBA playoffs over the last 4 postseasons, and I'm at 58.4% now after last night's loss. I think it was 107 and 76 maybe during that span. So steady, consistent playoff profits, at least plus 10 units each of the last 4 postseasons, at least 55% each of the last 4 postseasons. So year in, year out, I've been making money for my clients in the NBA playoffs. We're going to play tonight. On the other game that I'm not talking about here. And of course, my advice to anyone who wants to get involved with a handicapper, don't buy a play, get a package. We've got 3 days, buy 3 days, get 3 free. We've got this great summer special where you get everything all summer and even into the NFL preseason and the first week of college, right through the end of August. We've got NBA playoff packages available. Whatever your budget and whatever your interest level is, check out my homepage at Wager Talk. That's wt.buzz/TC. Follow me on Twitter/X at Teddy_covers. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, please give us a like, give us a comment, give us a follow. Makes all the difference for the YouTube algorithms. Thank you for your support. So I said I couldn't get there with the side here, and I can't. I can get there with the total. Okay, we cashed a free play on the over yesterday, first half for Portland Phoenix. That was a no sweat right side. Free play won yesterday. The client played it, unfortunately. I don't trust either side here. I don't trust either team defensively in this ballgame. And of course, without Embiid, what does that mean? Philly's low post defense lacks. Philly plays with a faster pace offensively. We're talking about Maxey and Edgecombe. We're talking about a Philly team that wants to push pace. And Orlando has been surprisingly comfortable playing with tempo this season. Every sharp dollar that's come in on this total so far has come in on the over. We're seeing 224s right now as a prevailing number. There are even some 224.5s out there. That's up from the opener. This is not the best of the number. This is not a back the Brinks jump up to the betting window to play the over at the worst number. But at current numbers, that's the way I would look here. Orlando, Philly, over 224. Thank you so much for watching Wager Talk TV. Stay tuned right here on the channel for more quality video content. We appreciate your support. We appreciate the likes. And I'll do my best to get in to answer as many comments as I can throughout the course of the day. Best of luck to you with all your bets on Wednesday night, and have yourself a great evening. Cheers.